जी नमस्कार सभी को। डॉक्टर K Tiwari here on your favorite platform, the New Lyceum for English Literature. And today I am going to start a new series of lectures. And that new series of lectures will be based on figures of speech. You could say that you are going to have at least 8 to 10 lectures on figures of speech, figures, speech types with examples from starting from the root, how they came, from where they came, and how were they employed, how were they deployed by the literary men of England and other countries. उसी पर शुरू है आज का लेक्चर। और फिगर ऑफ स्पीच एक ऐसा चैप्टर है जो किसी भी एग्जामिनेशन में अनटच्ड नहीं होता है, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द ग्रेट यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट्स कमीशन एग्जामिनेशन to state level examination to any type of competitive examination, and even in BA and MA जब आप अपने आंसर्स लिख रहे होते हो, literary devices are asked there. वहां पर literary devices पर questions आते हैं. So be ready, listen to me very carefully, and once you have watched the series, once you have watched this particular video, please do give me your feedback. आपका हमेशा इंतजार रहता है फीडबैक का. आइए शुरू करते हैं. चैनल सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिएगा, द न्यू लाइसियम फॉर इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, एंड सो दैट वेन एवर आई अपलोड अ वीडियो यू कुड नो दैट अ वीडियो हैज कम ऑन अनदर फिगर ऑफ स्पीच, सो दैट यू कुड वॉच दोज वीडियोज ऑन टाइम. ऑलराइट, फिगर ऑफ स्पीच मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है फॉर दिस एग्जामिनेशन. इंग्लिश लिटरेचर नेट असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, and not only NET and assistant professor examination, but it is equally important for PhD entrance examinations. It is equally important for state level eligibility test, that is called SET, and it is important for CUET. CUET, that you give the entrance for your masters, right, for different central universities का जो टेस्ट होता है CUET combined test है, इसके लिए भी important है. And apart from that, it is important for all the TGT and PGT examination, right? Equally important है for all the examination, and you are going to get all the videos for free without any cost on figures of speech. You would have watched my videos on literary criticism, and there are total 21 videos on literary criticism. That is unit number 8 of UGC NET, right? Unit number 8 UGC NET literary criticism, 21 videos starting from Plato to Alpha to T.S. Eliot. इतनी वीडियोस है वहां पर. हमारे चैनल पर प्लेलिस्ट खोल करके आप देखिएगा, वो भी आपको एग्जामिनेशन में हेल्प करने वाले हैं. इन द सेम वे ये आपको हेल्प करने वाला है, राइट, ज्ञान विज्ञान विमुक्तय के लिए. चलिए आते हैं स्लाइड पर. ये देखिए, व्हाट इज दिस, क्या बनाएंगे? दिस इज अ केंद्रीय विद्यालय स्कूल, एंड यू दिस इज जस्ट अ पिक्चर. You have to imagine what it is. For the students who go for study, for them it is a school. Those who are interested in teaching learning, for them it is a school. And suppose that you have a son, you have a younger brother, you have a sister, and your sister is not interested in going to this school. Kyun? Because she is tortured there. She doesn't feel comfortable at a school. So for her, the same school is a prison house. The same school is a prison, and she could say that my school is a prison, right? मेरा स्कूल क्या है? My school is a prison. Then what is the difference between school and prison? The building symbolizes school. The building symbolizes knowledge. The building symbolizes teaching learning center. And for your sister, for your brother, the school symbolizes prison. There are two types of meanings. First one is literal meaning, and second one is figural meaning. That literal meaning is something that is written there for example, a school is the center of learning. This is the literal meaning. And when you say that a school is a prison, a school jail hai, then it is a figural meaning. This is called figure of speech. Right? This is called figure of speech. Parts of speech is the part of grammar, and figure of speech is the part of literature. Figure of speech is a literary device. Right? It is rhetoric. Right? So that you could say something with the same words in a different way. That is figure of speech. Right? Same चीज को जब आप different तरीके से बोल देते हो, right? Words are limited, but they convey different meanings in different context. और फिर वहां पर हम literature में जब different context आता है, then we use words, like then we use figures of speech. Suppose that once again, this is the picture. This is the picture, and this picture is of a tree. Right? You could say that this tree is the speaking tree. This tree is the speaking tree, and you can't say, you cannot be sure that a tree can speak, but tree speaks in literature. Tree speaks in literature, that's why it is a speaking tree, and the speaking tree has only two words, speaking and tree, and this has become a figure of speech. A tree is not supposed to speak, but in literature it can speak. And how can it speak? With the help of literary devices, with the help of rhetorics, with the help of figures of speech. Right? What is a figure of speech in fact? What is a figure of speech? Figure of speech may you have the same words, but same words are arranged in such a way so that they create a sensation. They go beyond the literal meaning. Here you have a definition. A figure of speech is a literary device which employs uncommon and unexpected language in order to send semantically rich message which plain and simple language would fail to encode. Literary figure of speech क्या है? It is a literary device. The literary device है, right? It is the usage, special uses of language to create sensation. Special uses of language to create sensation, right? Semantic sensation create करती है that simple and plain language is unable to express. वहां पर figure of speech आती है. It employs uncommon and unexpected language. For example, you said that school is a prison house. School is a prison. So school is prison. When school is a knowledge center, it doesn't create sensation. But when you say school is prison, it creates a sensation. How can a school be a prison? So then you will come to your child, to your son, to your brother, to your sister, or for that one, for that girl, for that boy, for your son, school could be a prison. Right? That is the figurative meaning. That is the figure of speech. All right. Figure of speech, they are of two types, tropes and schemes. Tropes and schemes, there are two types of figures of speech. What do you mean by trope? Trope means turn. When you say something and it denotes something, कहते कुछ है आप, meaning कुछ और होती है, that is called trope. Trope means turn. And scheme means arrangement. Scheme means arrangement. Arrangement of words. Arrangement of words is the scheme, and turning of meaning is tropes. Hence, two types of figure of speech. Basically, there are two types, tropes and schemes. इन्हीं को आप हिंदी में क्या कहते हो? अर्थ अलंकार and shabda alankar. Right? Tropes are artha alankar and schemes are shabda alankar, where only words are arranged. Right? Fair is foul, foul is fair. Fair is foul, foul is fair. Right? Words are same, but the first half of the sentence is reversed in the second half. Reverse कर दिया गया है. This is called scheme. Right? This is called scheme. And when you say that school is, my school is a prison house, it is a prison, it is a jail, then you don't have the arrangement of words, it is a simple sentence, but it connotes different meaning. That is the example of troops, right? Troops and schemes, there are two types of figures of speeches. Clear? Two types of figures of speeches, troops and schemes. And then rhetoric. Rhetoric, as you know, that it was a book written by Aristotle. Rhetoric was a book written by the Greek philosopher, one of the greatest philosophers of the world, Aristotle. He wrote a book, Poetics. Poetic means art of poetry, how to write poetry, how to write plays, how to write epic, what is the basic difference between an epic and a play, and then which one is superior. And epic talks about poetic diction, epic talks about uses of words, epic talks about poetics talks about uses of poetry in plays, and rhetoric means art of speech. Art of speech, and उसी को आप figure of speech बोलते हो. During the time of Aristotle, art of speech means people were there who were great orators. They used to speak in front of public, in front of people, and their whole attempt was to pursue people. Right, to pursue people, persuasive speech देना उनका होता था, उनको demagogue कहा जाता था. Right, leaders like प्रधानमंत्री, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is a great orator. You could say he is a great orator. So he uses the art of rhetoric in his speech. In the same way, when people started composition, when they started writing, they used those formulas in their writing. That is called figure of speech. Rhetoric derives from the Greek word. In Greek it means rheto, R-H-E-T-O-R, rheto. Rheto means speaker, right? Rheto means speaker. Rhetor means speaker or orator. A rhetor was a master of persuasion. A rhetor was a master of persuasion. Aristotle's book on rhetoric, a theory of civil discourse. What is rhetoric? Rhetoric is the art and study of using language effectively and persuasively, and this is called figure of speech. Rhetoric is learning how to use language effectively, how to use language persuasively, how to use language beautifully, how to use language to create sensation, how to use language to give a different meaning, how to use language to make something beautiful. How to use language, alright, how to use language to make a literary work, right? और इसी को क्या कहा जाता है? To create literariness, we use language in different way, and that different uses of the same language in different way is called figure of speech. I.A. Richards talked about this, and he said that there are two uses of language: scientific use of language and then emotive use of language. Scientific use of language is denotative, it has only one meaning, and when we talk about emotive use of language, it has multiple meanings. Words are same but they convey multiple meanings, they are pluralistic. Science जो है that is singular, and literature जो है that is plural, right? So this is called rhetoric. Rhetoric is the art and study of using language effectively and persuasively, and rhetoric is a book by Aristotle. Rhetoric is a Greek word and it means a speaker or orator. Clear? It means speaker or orator. In today's lecture, I will just talk about the types of speech, types of figures of speech. Troops. Let's define the term troop. Troop is the Greek for turn. In examinations like TGT examination, like PGT examination, such questions are asked. The rhetor is a word from Latin, English, Indian, right? Greek. Such type questions are asked. For example, troops. What is troop? Troop is also a Greek word. And what is the meaning of the troop? Troop means turn. Troops turn or alter or change the meaning of words. They change the meaning of words. Synecdoche. Synecdoche. What is synecdoche? Part is used for whole. Whole is used for part. This is also a figure of speech. One of the very important figures of speech. Right? Synecdoche is used to symbolize. Part symbolizes whole and whole symbolizes part. Right? Whole denotes part, part denotes whole. That is called synecdoche. A synecdoche in which a part of something is used to signify a whole. For example, take thy face hence. Take thy face hence. This is the speech from Macbeth. Suppose that someone says that take thy face hence. How could you take your fence without going whole? Right? Fence is the part. Take thy face. Face is the part of the body and it represents the whole of the body. Right? Take thy face hence. Face represents the whole of the body. Part represents whole. This is called synecdoche. India have won the match. India have won the match. India, the name of the country, but here India represents a team. Right? Part, whole represents part. Whole represents part. Part of the country. उसने मैच जीता है ना कि होल कंट्री ने. Part represents whole, whole represents parts. इसको बोलते हैं synecdoche. Right? And it is an example of a troop. It is an example of troop. Face represents entire body. Face represents entire body, and when entire body is represented, it is called synecdoche, and that is troop. Metonymy is also a troop. Suppose that you say, I have read Milton. I have read Milton. Milton is no more and you cannot read Milton. Milton means works of Milton. Plays, poems, essays, articles, sonnets written by Milton, वो है Milton's work. And if you say that I have understood Milton, it means you have read and understood his works. That is called metonymy. Metonymy is the figure of speech for substitution. It substitutes, right? For example, I have read Tagore. So Tagore is the substitution, right? किसका substitution है? Substitution of Tagore's work. The press criticized the President House. The press criticized the President's house. President House is a building and a building cannot be criticized. How can anybody criticize a building? Building cannot be criticized. Hence, President's house represent President. This is called metonymy, right? The press means media, right? That is called troops. Troops means earth, meaning, where meaning is directed. That is called troops. All right. Next. Then what is scheme? Scheme is the arrangement of words, right? Arrangement of words, once again derived from the Greek, and it means form. It decorates language by affecting only the form of a sentence or phrase, right? It deals with reordering or rearrangement of the words without altering the meaning, right? Without altering the meaning, ये क्या करता है? ये word order को change कर देता है. Think not what you can do for your country, right? Think not what your country can do for you. Think what you can do for your country. Words are same, orders are changed, right? Beauty is truth, truth beauty. Beauty is truth, truth beauty. Words are same, order is changed. This is called scheme, right? A chiasmus means crisscross. For example, beauty is truth, truth beauty is an example of scheme. I hope now you have understood both troops and schemes. Troops means turn, scheme means arrangement. Where the words are arranged in a different order, it is called scheme. and when the word gives different meaning, it is called tropes. All right. If we talk about the classification of figures of speeches, then you can divide, you can classify the figures of speeches according to their functions. There are some figures of speeches, जो similarity की बात करते हैं, then there are some जो difference की बात करते हैं, then there are some जो टोन की बात करते हैं, इंटोनेशन की बात करते हैं, प्रोनाउंसिएशन की बात करते हैं. तो on the basis of these you can divide the figures of speeches into several parts. For example, first division is the figure of speech based on analogy, based on agreement, or based on similarity, and simile and metaphor. These two figures of speech are based on analogy. Analogy means comparison. That analogy means comparison. For example, she is the lioness of Indian army. That this is metaphor, and you are like a sun. That is simile. Right? Analogy, agreement, or similarity, that is called simile and metaphor. Figures based on analogy, agreement, or similarity. And then you have figures based on association, metonymy, synecdoche, transferred epithet, also known as applause and allusion. They are based on association. Right? They are based on association. And then the figure of speech based on difference or contrast. Right? Difference or contrast, antithesis, epigram, oxymoron, climax, anticlimax, bathos, synopsis, paradox. These are the figures of speech based on difference or contrast. Child is the father of man. Child is the father of man. Man proposes, God disposes. Right? Man proposes, God disposes, bitter, sweet. These are the examples. These are the figures of speech based on difference or contrast. And then figures based on imagination. Imagination, personification. Opportunity knocks the door but once. Prosopopoeia, personal metaphor, pathetic fallacy, epistrophe, invocation, vision, hyperbolic. These are the figures of speech based on imagination. Right? Based on imagination. And then you have figures of speech based on indirectness. Based on indirectness means to satirize, innuendo, irony, sarcasm, periphrasis or circumlocution, euphemism, dysphemism, meiosis, liceties. These are the figures of speech based on indirectness. And then you have the figure of speech based on emotions. And on emotions, eroticis or interrogation, exclamation, and epiplexis. And then figures of speech based on construction. Right? Based on construction means scheme. Right? Hendiades, chiasmus, antimetabole, ellipsis, zeugma, polysyndeton, asyndeton, hyperbaton, anaphora, epistrophe, diacope, epigeuxis, tricolon, tetracolon, climax. Right? These are the figure of speeches based on constructions, जिनको आप स्कीम कहते हो, उस पर बेस्ड होते हैं ये figures of speech. And then you have based on sound. Right? Sound, assonance, alliteration, consonance, assonance, pun, also known pronomasia, apronomasia, equivoque, onomatopoeia, or homoteluton. Right? These are the figure of speech based on sound. And then you have miscellaneous. You have a list of miscellaneous, and miscellaneous are more than the particular class. Tautology, pleonasm, prolepsis, paralepsis, catachresis, ornamental epithet, aposiopesis, and echismus, anadiplosis, apophysis, glucosmus, diatatio, diatipsis, epixis, epimony, epixisuxis, hypocrisis, prolepsis, scoticin, and sinathristmus tapiniosis. Right? There are some जिनका आपने कभी नाम ही नहीं सुना होगा. And then you have epanthrosis, polypeptin, distinctio, cis ornamentin, antangog, antiphrasis, appositive, sententia, tapiniosis, topographia, similosi, pisma, tricolon. These are the figure of speeches based on not anything. किसी पर based नहीं है. They are put under the category of miscellaneous. And during my lectures, I will deal with each and every figure of speech in depth with detailed examples. So be ready for all those videos. Keep on waiting for all those videos. You will get one by one. सब आपको मिलेंगे. And through the videos, after completing this series of videos, you won't have any doubt regarding figures of speech. Whether you are preparing for NET examination, upcoming NET that is to be held in June 2024, or you are preparing for any state examination, state level examination, or you are preparing for any types of competitive examination in English, these figure of speeches will definitely help you clear your exam, I assure you. Right? So these are the figure of speeches for today's class, and then I will start with figures of speech, and then in figures of speech the first one that we will tackle is called simile. Right? First, based on analogy, based on agreement and in similarity, and that you will get in the next video. Right? Thank you so much for watching, subscribing and sharing this channel. All the best. Meet you soon with another video. Good luck.